So as far as I know, we're recording. So, hi, Jesse.
Hi.
It's nice to have you here today. Can you share a little bit with me? Would you be willing to share a little bit with me about what brings you in today?
Sure, yeah. I've been feeling really kind of uh, more sad than usual. I've noticed I haven't been able to sleep. Um, and I've just been having issues with lethargy and being tired and not wanting to leave the house. And I'm not reaching out to my friends as much anymore. And yeah, it's just been a really hard time, and it's really hard for me to get things done. So yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay. So you're really having a hard time with being who you feel is truly you at this stage.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel, yeah.
Okay. And sleeping is not going well like it used to?
Yeah, it's changed. I used to be able to sleep easily. Now I have to take medication to sleep.
Okay. Um, And then you said you're not reaching out to friends as much as you used to either. Can you share a little bit more about what that looks like?
Yeah, so I used to be able to, like, I don't know, at least like go like connect with friends, have them over for tea, like just make sure that I'm like still talking to my friends and have relationships there. And over the last few months, it's been really hard. Been feel anxiety around other people, and it's been harder to reach out and uh, connect with people. I've been isolating a lot, just like me in my room, not really connecting with anyone else.
Okay. So you're also not leaving your house as much as you used to. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you share with me when did this start happening for you? About how long ago?
Probably like a few months ago, like 3 or 4 months.
Okay. And about 3 months ago, what was going on before all this started?
Um, well, for one, I started school, um, and I'm going through a job transition. I left my old job, and uh, I'm entering into a new profession starting soon. So that's kind of been weighing on me a little bit. And I'm actually moving. Also, like, I'm not moving cities, but I'm moving into a bigger apartment, which kind of is creating some stress for me.
Okay. So this is what was going on before you started feeling down and isolated, or this is going on while the down and isolated feelings started?
It was going on while those feelings started, and continuing. Yeah.
It has continued. Okay. So you have school and a new job and moving apartments.
Yeah.
That feels heavy.
Yeah, it just makes me kind of anxious about it makes me feel anxious, like that I won't be good at my new job, or that it wasn't a good idea to move, that it's just going to be extra work for me. So yeah, I've definitely been feeling anxious too.
Okay. Surrounding the job and moving.
Hmm.
You didn't say anything about school. Can you share a little bit with me about how you're feeling about school?
Definitely anxious as well. I haven't been in school in probably like 14, 15 years. So it's kind of a hard thing to get back into. Um, it's like you go through school up until you're 18 and then you go to undergraduate and you're still in that mindset. But coming back now as an older adult, it's hard to get back into that rhythm. And it's hard to carve the time out to do the readings and carve the time out to do the little writing assignments. And it's also just been hard for me to focus.
Okay. I noticed when you said, yeah, going back to school, you almost sounded a little excited there, not as anxious or as down as you've been talking about. How do you feel about hearing that?
I think that going back to school is very exciting for me. In addition to being anxiety producing, it's both. I'm excited to be learning new things. I'm really excited to be embarking upon a new career soon, through the skills that I'm learning in this program. And yeah, so there is excitement there, and it is kind of good for, it does feel like I'm doing something productive, which helps a little bit with the depression feelings. But
Okay. So that productivity, can we talk a little bit more about that? Would you be willing to, I know you said you're getting a new job, so it does sound like you're very productive in your life. Can you share with me a little bit about your new job and where that's taking you?
sure, yeah. My background is actually in cooking, restaurant work. I've been a line cook or chef for, I don't know, 15 years. And because I'm in school for clinical mental health counseling, uh, I'm getting a job as a mental health worker at an inpatient at a hospital near me, and I'm going to be doing some psychoeducational stuff with adolescents in the adolescent unit for their day hospital. So it's a completely different. I've never worked in that environment before. I've only worked in kitchens. It's going to be really interesting, but it's also like where I want to be going in life. Like that's what I want to do. Like I want to be working. I want to be in the mental health field, obviously, but like this is like my first mental health job. And I mean, that's exciting, and it makes me really anxious too.
I'm curious, the anxiety around school and the new job, is that more of a happy anxiety or like a down anxiety?
It depends. The school anxiety can really get to me. Like, I'm never gonna finish this. I'm never gonna be able to do this. I feel so distracted. I feel so um I feel so distracted. I can't focus. There's a lot of that going on, and then like within that, a fear of not achieving or not doing what I want to do. Underneath that anxiety of like not having to focus or whatever. But also, I think like I said before, also, I feel really good about moving in this direction. The job hasn't started yet, so I don't even know what I'm going to be doing really, except that I'm going to be working in an adolescent day hospital, and I'm going to be doing psychoeducational groups using DBT and they're also going to be having me teach yoga in the hospital. So yeah. So I don't really know what that's going to look like. And I'm a little bit anxious about it, but it's also like, you have to like, especially since I haven't done it before, I have to just be able to be like, well, whatever happens, happens. Yeah.
So, so you have to let go of some of that unknown
Yeah.
and kind of give into some of that. I'm not sure how this is going to look for myself, but I know this is where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to jump just a little bit because you've talked about productivity, and while you spoke about your productivity, I heard you really kind of got animated. Your voice lightened. You didn't sound as down. So it tells me you sound like a very productive person. You sound happiest when you're being productive, and it almost sounds excited that although you have all this anxiety around this unknown, you're really looking forward into going into it.
I mean, that's true. I am happiest when I'm being productive. I'm a creative person. I like making things. I like being productive, and I think that's what makes the depression, or like the way I've been feeling, so difficult, is that I haven't been doing the things that I used to like doing, and I haven't been as productive. And the lethargy and the tiredness and the kind of like mental fog I've been experiencing has inhibited my ability to be as productive as I want. And I think that's the hardest part about the whole thing, is the shame that comes along with not being able to be as productive as I want to, and me putting that shame upon myself. And that just adds to the depression. It's kind of like a negative feedback loop.
Okay. So shame, you brought it. You didn't say shame in the beginning. What is it about this shame?
I feel a lot of shame about my lack of activity right now, how much I've been sleeping, how much I've been staying in bed. I mean, we live in a culture where it's kind of like go, go, go all the time. Everyone's expected to be high achievers, and you're expected to have everything together. And I really don't right now. And I feel like a failure in a lot of ways. Not like, I mean, I feel great about like what I'm doing, like getting this new job and doing the school, but I feel like a failure in other ways, like the lethargy, the tiredness, the inability to concentrate, the brain fog, the fact that I'm not being as social, the isolation, all of that is causing shame, because I feel like I'm not fitting into what what a person is supposed to be.
Okay. So let's talk about your view on how a person does look. Can you share with me a little bit on how you feel a person should look on her, or how you feel you should be doing things right now? What does
Yeah,
that look like?
it's a really good question. I feel like I should be more active. I feel like I should be more social. Um, the isolation I've put myself in not only makes it harder for me to like connect with other people, but it's like, so like socializing like brings me quality of life. So I just see my quality of life slipping. I'm not exercising as much, I'm not eating as well. It's kind of like everything that I feel like I should. There's a lot of like feelings that I should be doing something better, should be eating better, I should be engaging with more people, I should be more active. And so yeah, an ideal person for me, or an ideal me, would be someone who is more social, like more social, more active in in all aspects of my life. I'm more active in my creativity, uh, not sleeping so much, all of that.
Okay. So definitely doing more than you've been doing for the past 3 to 4 months, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to jump. When you were younger and you were growing up, can you share a little bit about some of your family values and maybe what your family looked like when you were younger?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, uh, my parents, uh, my parents were really nurturing, very supportive, especially my mom.
Okay.
Um, my dad wasn't around as much just because he was working all the time, but when he was at home, he was always very nurturing and kind. I don't know if I would use the word loving because he had like that whole like male thing of not necessarily being able to show affection that well.
Okay.
And I have two sisters. I have an older sister and a younger sister, so I'm in the middle. My older sister it has autism spectrum disorder. It wasn't diagnosed back in the 80s when we were kids, but later in life. But all that my parents knew is that she had behavioral disturbances. So she went to therapy every week, my older sister, and she was also kind of like really negative towards me. So I had an awful relationship with my older sister. Um, I think I think part of it being that like she had this undiagnosed like autism spectrum disorder and was having a really hard time and tended to take it out on me.
Mm.
Um, I get along really well with my younger sister. Though she's really great and yeah.
Okay. How many years are in between yourself and your older sister and then yourself and your youngest sister?
It's 2 years between me and my older sister,
Okay.
so pretty close in age. And with my younger sister, it's also pretty close. It's 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're all kind of yeah,
Fairly close.
yeah, close in age. Yeah.
Very much. What is your relationship look like now with your two sisters?
Well, to be honest, with my younger sister, it's great. Like we text each other all the time. She lives in another state, but like I visit her when I can. Um, she texts me all the time. It's I feel, and she supports me. Like she's always supporting me and encouraging me to do what I want to do. I mean, she's always been that way. My younger sister, my older sister, I haven't talked to in 10 years. Uh, she actually hasn't talked to any member of my family for 10 years because she got involved in like a fundamentalist Christian kind of thing
Okay.
and like doesn't approve of my family anymore. But that didn't matter to me because I already had such a bad relationship with her.
Hmm.
I was kind of relieved at not having to have her in the family anymore. So
Okay. You seem a little nervous about actually saying that out loud or maybe saying that to someone new.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And how,
It's a weird thing, it's not something that everyone goes through, like having an estranged sibling. Um, so I always, I, you know, it sometimes it's hard to it's not hard to talk about because I don't feel bad about it. Like I said, like I'm quite glad that I don't have a relationship with her. But I think that's also something that other people don't understand, and a lot of times they're like, well, like you should be close to your sister. You know what I mean? They don't understand the dynamic. So I've had weird things said to me about it by people that just don't know, like the, the dynamic.
okay. Well, um, small insight, I also have two sisters, so I do understand the sister dynamic,
Mm.
period. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel you on that. Um, I, it's good to hear that your sister and your youngest sister and yourself are still very much in connection and very close, like you were when you were children.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if you call her currently and talk to her about your feelings that you're currently having surrounding school and maybe the depression feelings you're having and the shame about not being who you truly feel you are.
Yeah. Um, she's a very like kind of cognitive person. She she's so sweet, but she doesn't necessarily have like the being able to talk about personal issues thing, but she does it in her own way. Meaning, if she knows what I'm going through and I tell her something, she'll send me like a TED talk about it, or she'll send me an article. So constantly sending me articles that she's read about depression or about anxiety, and that's how she contributes. Is like it's like she looks up like things that might help me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
she's able to hear you, but not necessarily talk through them with you.
Yeah, but
Okay.
also, but I still feel very, very supported by her because she does care and she does send me these articles all the time.
It sounds like you guys do have a very solid relationship, and you're aware that she might not be able to talk through these things with you, but she's willing to listen and then, like you said, help out in her own way and send you articles or TED Talks or things that might be helpful for you, and that's how she contributes. Okay. So I wanted to wrap up just a little bit. I heard today, I wanted to thank you actually first before I wrap up. Thank you for coming in. I'm sure it's not necessarily easy to come here. You did talk about sleeping a lot and not feeling motivated. So thank you for having some thought and going, I'm just going to show up today
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. So, but I did hear you say a lot about depressed feelings and anxiety. You've got a lot of new things going on in your life, a new job, something completely different from what you've been used to. You're moving to a new apartment. You have school. You are taking on a lot. I that's kind of where I want to leave it, and I want you to think about all the new things you're introducing into your life, and maybe just write them down. The new things that you're doing. You know, new
Yeah.
job, new new frontier with school, new
Yeah.
place, and maybe just write them on a piece of paper and leave it at that.
Yeah.
We can kind of pick up there next time we talk. And I definitely I want to hear more about your feelings after you wrote those things down for yourself and maybe just thought about them for a week or two.
Yeah.
So, okay. Do you have any questions for me before we go, or any thoughts of what you'd like to pick up next time, or have I missed anything?
No, I'm definitely gonna write down all the new things in my life on a piece of paper. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was lovely to meet you today, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again.
Thank you. It was great seeing you too.
Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Okay.